Hello and welcome to Treasury Notes, a financial education program from the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office. I'm your host, Gina Joins. The State Treasurer serves as the Chief Financial Officer for the state. The Treasurer is responsible for overseeing the state's operating funds, monitoring the state's debt, and performing additional banking and accounting duties. Over the years, the office has widened its scope of duties beyond basic Treasury functions. The State Treasurer now administers various programs to promote financial wellness for West Virginians. Public employees in West Virginia can plan and invest for retirement with a West Virginia Retirement Plus plan. The Jumpstart Savings Program is the first of its kind in the nation. It helps West Virginians save money for expenses they will face in pursuing a career in a skilled trade or vocation. WV Able is another savings program from the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office. If you or a loved one has a disability, the WV Able plan can help you save and invest for current and future needs. Smart 529 is a savings and investment program that's been helping families for more than 20 years now. Thanks to Smart 529, parents and grandparents can save and offset the cost of future higher education expenses. The Treasurer's Office also provides staffing for the West Virginia Hope Scholarship Board. The Hope Scholarship Program is the state's education savings account program that gives parents an opportunity to build an individual learning experience that works best for their child. Today, we are going to learn more about two of these programs, the Hope Scholarship Program and the Smart 529 Education Savings Program. And joining me today is Amy Willard, the Deputy Treasurer of Savings Programs for the Treasurer's Office. Amy, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Amy. Well, the Hope Scholarship, that is a program that is fairly new here in West Virginia. Can you begin by just explaining how this program came to be?
Sure. The West Virginia Legislature introduced the Hope Scholarship Act in the 2021 legislative session. It was House Bill 2013. It was passed by both the House and the Senate and then signed into law by the governor. And the first year the program went into effect was for this current school year, the 22-23 school year.
So the Treasurer's Office actually has a role in administering this program. Talk about that function.
Sure. The Treasurer Moore is the chairman of the Hope Scholarship Board, and the Treasurer's Office employs staff to provide services for the Hope Scholarship Board, and I'm the Deputy Treasurer that helps oversee that and the staff that work on the program.
All right. So for those who may not be familiar with Hope Scholarship, can you just give us a little bit of an overview of what this program is and how it may help some West Virginians?
I'm sure. So the Hope Scholarship is an educational savings account program that allows West Virginia students to use what would have been their state aid funding that would have gone to the public school system, and it allows them to take that state funding and have educational choice where they can use the funds either at a non-public school or have an individualized instructional plan or an IIP to meet their educational needs.
And this is for students in what grade levels?
This is for students who are in grades K through 12.
Okay. So there are some eligibility requirements for the Hope Scholarship. Can you talk a little bit about those?
Sure. So to be eligible for the program, you obviously have to be a West Virginia resident. Then you can be an incoming kindergarten student, like a first-time kindergarten student, or you have to have been enrolled full-time in a West Virginia public school, either elementary or secondary school, for the previous school year or the school year immediately preceding the year for which you're applying for the Hope Scholarship. So for like the 23-24 school year that will be opening up soon for applications, you have to have attended this full public school, this full 22-23 school year to be eligible. Or there's a provision for a 45-day rule, is what it's called, where individuals who are perhaps maybe new to West Virginia, they have to have been enrolled in public school for at least 45 days at the time of application for the Hope Scholarship Program.
And these policies are all set in place by the state legislature, correct?
Yes,
through the law.
The minimum eligibility requirements were set forth in statute. There are certain things that the Hope Scholarship Board has the authority to do, such as expand the qualifying expenditures for the program, but the vast majority of the requirements of the program are set forth in statute.
So are current private school students eligible for the scholarship? right now?
No, if you've been an existing private school student, you are not eligible because you just don't meet that criteria that's set forth in the program. However, you would have that 45-day rule available to you where you could enroll in public school and attend public school for at least the 45 days. You do have to meet minimum attendance requirements during that 45-day period. It is 45 calendar days. And then you could apply for the scholarship, but you have to remain enrolled in public school until you reach a decision on your Hope Scholarship application. You can't just go ahead and pull out of public school until you get that notice that you've been awarded the scholarship.
And is that the same situation for current homeschooled students?
Yes, it would be the same scenario for them. If you've been an existing homeschool student, you are not eligible, but that same 45-day provision set forth by the legislature would be available to you as well.
So a lot of kindergarten students, though, people or students who are new to the school system, this is open to them.
Yes. If you're an incoming kindergarten student, there's no requirement to go to public school first. As that incoming kindergartner, you are given this educational choice at the onset of your educational career.
And I guess a lot of people may ask, okay, so we're talking about the Hope Scholarship. How much money does that mean for my child or my student that I have?
Right, so the funding amount will vary each year because it's tied to the state aid funding formula for the public schools. So that amount varies per year. So for the 2022-23 school year, the Hope Scholarship amount is $4,298.60. And for next year, the 23-24 school year, we anticipate that it will be $4,488. There are some provisions where students receive a prorated amount of funding if they've been in public school for a portion of the school year. But so those amounts I quoted would be the full amount if you're eligible for the full amount.
And this is not a cash award, right? So that's, I think, an important distinction, that it's not that the State Treasurer's Office is going to cut those families a check to then go and use for schooling.
Correct. This is not a cash award. The scholarship funds are administered in the Education Market Assistant, or the EMA portal. We have contracted with our program manager to utilize that portal for this function, and so the families will receive those funds in an account and then spend the money directly through that account, and the funds are transmitted directly to the vendor that they're receiving goods or services from.
And can you explain what the families can use this money for? So how does that whole transaction work? What can they use these monies for?
Sure. So there's a variety of things that families can use. If you're sending your child to non-public school, you can use that to pay tuition and fees. You can use the funds for things like technology equipment, basic school supplies. For those families that are pursuing an individualized instructional plan, you can buy curriculum for your basic educational needs, as well as elective type courses. You can use it for after school care, like if there's educational after school programs, summer educational programs. There's a wide variety, and you can get the full list as part of the parent handbook that's on our website, and the website is www.hopescholarshipwv.com.
Okay, so hopescholarshipwv.com is where people can go for more information. Of course, they can always call the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office.
Yes.
And be transferred to the HOPE program to find out more information, or if they have questions, because a lot of people are going to ask this next one, I think, which is how do I apply, and are there any guidelines for the application process, because you do have to apply to receive this funding.
Sure, yeah. So we have an application window for the program, and so it runs from March 1st to May 15th annually. And so during that time period, there's a link on our website where it'll have like a click here to apply for the program, and through that process you'll be asked to create an account through the EMA portal, and then you'll go in and you'll have to upload various documents like birth certificates and proofs of West Virginia residency. and submit your application through the website.
Okay, so hopescholarshipwv.com. People can also go to wvtreasury.com and get a link to that website as well if they want official information on the Hope Scholarship Program. And I think it's important to note that it is the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office administering this program, so it's important that you go through the State Treasurer's Office for the most current and up-to-date information on this program.
That's correct.
We've talked a lot about parents and what they can do to apply for the program. They have to go through that portal and during a certain application window. But there's also another piece to this program, and that's for education service providers, which is essentially the schools that are going to be receiving these funds. Do they need to take any action for those people in our audience who maybe work for one of these schools who may benefit from the scholarship?
Sure. So there's a slightly different process depending on what type of education service provider that you are. If you are a West Virginia non-public school who had applied for, it's called Exemption B or Exemption K through the West Virginia Department of Education or the County Boards of Education, you should have already been sent a unique link to sign up for the program. We've had some schools from surrounding states who have expressed interest in participating in the program. Those schools just need to reach out to us at the Treasurer's Office at hopescholarshipwv@wvsto.com and just reach out to us, express interest if you're one of those schools, because we have to collect some information about your school in order to get that unique link sent to you. If you are another type of education service provider, like a tutor or a speech therapist, or someone else that's providing maybe piano lessons, you can just go straight to the EMA portal, and there's a link to that from our website, and apply. You create your account, and then you just register to be an education service provider. There are two different types of accounts when you go to do that. It'll prompt you for, do you want to have a business account or do you want to have an individual account? So we're finding that there are a lot of sole proprietors who are maybe, just going to provide individual tutoring to services. And so they get confused and think maybe they need to sign up for an individual account because they're just one person, signing up. But they really need to create a business account, because that allows them to go in and do all of their invoicing and handle all of the money aspects of the Hope Scholarship. Those individual accounts are designed for situations like, say, there's an ABC tutoring company that has 10 different tutors that work for them, but they need to be able to track which of the 10 tutors is providing the services to the students. So that would be where those 10 tutors would sign up as individuals under the program.
Now, are the service providers going to have to take this step annually?
No, once they're registered and all set up and have filled out their W-9 information and their all of the information that they need, once they're established as a provider under the program, they should be in our system and be able to continue annually.
But the parents, will they need to do this annually for their student if they want their student to continue to receive the Hope Scholarship funding?
For parents, once you're accepted into the program, there is going to be a renewal application process every year that you will fill out. It's similar to the regular application process. It's generally going to start between and run from January 15th to May 15th annually. This year it's going to be a little bit delayed and not start until February 15th. But you'll go in and just indicate that you want to continue with the program. It is important for parents to note that there are some things that you have to do to remain eligible for the program from year to year. If you're attending a non-public school, the non-public school is actually charged with sending in that information to the county boards of education for tracking purposes. But if you are one of the students who's on an individualized instructional plan under the Hope Scholarship, you have to turn in either annual test scores, like standardized test scores that show academic progress, or a certified teacher academic review of your student's work to the County Board of Education by June 8th each year. And if you fail to turn that information in as required, then you would be deemed ineligible for the program because you haven't followed through to, prove your continuing eligibility. So it's important for families to make sure that they complete that step each year.
Okay, and again, we're talking about the Hope Scholarship, which is available to eligible students in grades K through 12. And as we said earlier, Amy, the 2022-23 school year was the first year of the Hope Scholarship, but the application period for the next school year is already almost here for 2023-24. That'll be opening soon. So what are those application dates, and what do people who want to receive the Hope Scholarship need to do if they want to participate next school year?
Sure. So the application window for the 23-24 school year will open on March 1st. That's when you should see the information on our website change and the link to apply to go up live on the website, and it'll run through May 15th. And families, generally speaking, you're going to need your child's WEVIS number, West Virginia Education Information System number that you receive from the public school system. If you're an incoming kindergartner, the county boards of education will provide that to you through submission of a notice of intent form. And then keep in mind that you'll have to provide a copy of your birth certificate and proof of West Virginia residency when you fill out that application.
All right. And just to recap, the application period for the 23-24 school year, that begins on March 1st. You can learn more about the Hope Scholarship and apply online at hopescholarshipwv.com. Again, this is a program of the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office, so you can always find out more information on wvtreasury.com as well. Amy, any final thoughts to share on the Hope Scholarship?
This is a great opportunity for the families in West Virginia. And if you're interested in applying, we encourage you to do so. If you do apply and have any type of technical difficulties with the system itself, I would encourage you to reach out to the EMA Help Desk, and their number is 833-622-6819, or you can email them at westvirginiahope@emaportal.org.
All right. A lot of great information about the Hope Scholarship Program. Thank you. And we're going to take a quick break right now, but when we return, we'll talk to Amy about some exciting things happening with the Smart 529 Education Savings Program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The West Virginia State Treasurer's Vault is holding millions in unclaimed property. From uncashed checks to forgotten utility deposits, we want to return your money to you. Find out if you have unclaimed property. Search your name at wvtreasury.com.
Welcome back to Treasury Notes. I'm your host, Gina Joins. Smart 529 is West Virginia's official savings and investment program to help families save for the cost of higher education. Since the program started more than 20 years ago, thousands of families have invested in their child's future through the Smart 529 program. And today, Amy Willard, the Deputy Treasurer of Savings Programs for the State Treasurer's Office, is here with us to talk more about some of the latest opportunities with Smart 529. Amy, thanks again for sitting down today to talk about these programs. Now, in 2022, Smart 529 celebrated a big milestone, 20 years. That's a biggie. And in honor of this achievement, children in West Virginia were given a chance to win some Smart 529 savings. Let's talk a little bit about this. There was a big sweepstakes.
Yes, we did. We had our big 20th anniversary sweepstakes, and we had an opportunity for 3 different West Virginia children to receive $20,000 each in a Smart 529 savings account.
All right, tell us how the sweepstakes went, because this was a new thing for 529, just to celebrate the 20 years.
Yeah, so we felt like it was a very successful opportunity. We had over 8,000 entries for the sweepstakes. And we felt like it did a good job in raising awareness about the program to a lot of folks who weren't familiar with it.
All right, so there were 3 winners for the sweepstakes at the end of 2022. Can you tell us a little bit about those individuals and how they were selected?
Sure. So we had a random selection process, and those random drawings were witnessed by our independent audit firms. And we had the 3 winners. So we had Penelope Scripture, who I believe was from the Wheeling area. We had Isabella Gautier from around Beckley, and then we had Owen Dennis, who I believe was from Cabell County.
Oh my gosh, look at that. We have those winners up on the screen, and that's just precious. And if you think about it, $20,000 invested in a Smart 529, that is a huge opportunity for those students. Life-changing,
Yes.
really.
Yes, it is a great opportunity for them because those funds, they're in an investment account, so they're going to be able to, earn and grow over time. And, those families can, also now contribute other funds to those accounts and receive the state tax benefits for those contributions. And it's just a great opportunity.
And all of the winners were pretty young,
Yes,
too.
they
So
were.
they have a lot of time to grow
Yes,
that money.
Exactly.
All right. Well, it isn't quite as large as the prize for the 20th anniversary, but the Treasurer's Office does have a contest every year for the Smart 529 program, and that's where elementary school students can win money for their Smart 529 accounts. It's called the When I Grow Up Essay Contest. This is a great opportunity for kids in kindergarten through 5th grade. Tell us a little bit more about this opportunity, Amy, and I think it's in its 16th year now.
Yes, this is our 16th year of the essay contest, and so the essay contest is open for students in grades kindergarten through 5, and students write a 100-word or less essay about what they want to be when they grow up.
And there are several prizes, several winners selected. I think they're regional finalists. And talk a little bit about those regional finalists. I believe there are 15 of them, right?
Yeah, we have 15 regional winners who will each receive $500 into a Smart 529 savings account. And then of those 15 winners, regional winners, we select a grand prize winner who receives an additional $4,500 for their Smart 529 account, giving that grand prize winner a total of $5,000 in their Smart 529.
So grand prize winner, $5,000 plus the other 14 winners, $500 invested in their Smart 529. That's a great amount of savings. And all they have to do is write a 100-word essay. As you said, this is the 16th year for the contest, and they are accepting entries now for the contest. So it's a
Yes.
great opportunity for students and parents to help their students
Yes.
write these essays.
Yes, and we've sent some materials to the public schools around the state, but you can also get information on www.smart529.com and then look under programs and events, and you can download the entry form, and then those can be either uploaded on our website or you can mail them in to the address on the entry form.
And it's open to all elementary school students in the state, not just those attending public school, right? So if you're homeschooled or in private school, you still have the opportunity to participate.
That is correct, yes. Private school, homeschool, Hope Scholarship students, as long as you're a West Virginia resident in those grade levels, then you are welcome to participate.
So should parents enter for their child, or do they have to submit through their child's school, or do we get a combination of both? Do you get a combination
we
of
get a
both?
combination of both. I mean, parents have to agree and give permission for their children to enter the contest, but we do receive some submissions directly from the schools, like where the entire class will do that, but we also receive a lot of individual entries as well.
So the parent does have to fill out the actual application.
Yes, the parent does have to sign off and say that they've approved the child to enter.
And then it's the child's duty to then write that essay.
Exactly.
And all they have to do is talk about what they want to be when they grow up. And I'm sure
Yes.
there's there's lots of great ideas out there every year.
Oh yes, we see a lot of creative ideas, and a lot of times the children can do artwork to go along with their essay, so it's a lot of fun.
It's not just for the students, though. There's also another aspect of the When I Grow Up essay contest, and that's for the teachers. For teachers who want to make this a part of their classroom activity, they have an opportunity to win some cash as well, and this is actually a cash prize.
Yes, we have, I believe it is a $2,500 cash prize, and teachers can enter, and they write an essay on how they are using this Smart 529 essay contest to promote saving for higher education and promote higher education in their classroom.
And after a couple of years of not being able to celebrate in person due to the COVID pandemic, last year in 2022, you were able to celebrate the winners again at a big ceremony. Talk a little bit about that ceremony and how the winners are celebrated.
Sure, yeah. So we were able to resume the in-person event. We have it at the West Virginia Cultural Center in Charleston. All of the regional winners and their families are invited, and they get an opportunity to read their essays to the full group. And we have a photographer, and we typically have lunch for the families, and we just try to have a big event, and then they're all there live to watch the grand prize winner be selected.
Okay, and this is independently judged as well. So there's actually a judging process that takes place, and some, as we said earlier, some of these essays I'm sure are very creative. I'm sure you have some favorites.
Oh yes. Last year at our event, I don't think there was a dry eye in the place from all the adults, because just some of the things that people say they want to be are just very touching and moving, and it's just a great program.
The deadline to submit entries for the 2023 When I Grow Up essay contest is February 24th. So we want people to mark their calendars for that. And you can also learn more about the contest and download an application and submit entries on the Smart 529 website. That is smart529.com. Again, smart529.com. You can also go to wvtreasury.com for more information on this contest and all of the State Treasurer's Office programs, including the Hope Scholarship, which we talked about earlier, Smart 529, and some of the other savings programs that the State Treasurer's Office has. But Amy, just to wrap things up, we talked a lot about Smart 529, specifically with the When I Grow Up essay contest, but Smart 529 itself is a great opportunity for students and for their parents and grandparents to save and invest.
Yeah, it's a great program, and it's not just for people who are going to college. You can also use those funds if you're planning to go to trade school. You can use that for trade school programs, apprenticeships. The federal rules have expanded in recent years, and so it's not just for those who are on a college pathway.
All right. Amy Willard with the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office, thank you so much for joining us today. And that's all the time we have. Thank you for joining us. You can learn more about the State Treasurer's Office and its programs by visiting wvtreasury.com. Also, you can stay up to date on the latest news and information from the office. Just follow WV Treasury on your favorite social media platform. Keeping you informed on the Library Television Network, I'm Gina Joins with the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office.